Welcome to yet another episode of Chats with me. Okay, so I get to another school, right? I got expelled because of being a mischievous child. Then I get to another school. But something in me is so calm when I get to that school. I think it was one, realizing that I'm a year away from matric, so I feel like Gahola. Number two, there was just something about that school uniform that is so cute and just makes you feel like, aki and I was that. I get to that school and I don't really struggle to make friends. I make friends. It's a group of friends. I think we were four or five, somewhere there. And as much as we are always laughing and all of those things, but I do also struggle to find myself in that group because they are from well-off families, and they always have this, they always go out for they always, just doing a lot of things together, and I'm always the one that's not doing those things because I'm not necessarily from a poor background, I'm from a family that could afford certain things, but I'm definitely not a child that was carrying 50 rands to school. Trust me. Grade 8 to grade 12, I was carrying 10 randa. 10 randa. Or sometimes 20 randa, yeah. So yeah, I felt like I don't belong here, I would feel that way. And yeah, but they were good friends, they were good friends. I mean, there were times where I didn't want to be in that group, sometimes because of the things they would say, and I would notice and you just slowly, I don't know, lose yourself nyana in that space. I don't know if I'm even making sense. And also, I had a very strict mom, ne? So Woody Friday, chilla, things like that. After school, I had to lie. And I think sometimes they would see right through me because my mom didn't allow those things at all. Nile skolo or warrior high, But also, I had a boyfriend, like already not at that age. I was in a serious relationship, guys. So when I was feeling depressed at school and everything, now my boyfriend is just finished matric and I'm in grade 11 and he's home, and now I'm always visiting him to a point where I find myself banking school to go chill with that boy, and that slowly becomes my comfort, that slowly becomes my safe space because I'm able to talk about certain things with him. I feel like he understands me, you know what I mean? Because I feel like I do have friends at school, but I don't like how it makes me feel. And also I can't really talk to my family, because you must just go to school. There's a fridge full of food, that's enough. You know what I mean? So I was really struggling. I was really battling with my emotions. And yeah. So now it gets worse. And how does it get worse? Something drastic happens. Something that changes everything in grade 11 and until I finish school. Something that makes me hate school, like with everything in me. So again, I'm busy chilling with a boy and I'm back in school and I'm up to no good. And then it happens that I fall pregnant. And now my family finds out. And how do they find out? The way I was such a baby, Nakilungwana, who is up to no good, I didn't even know I was pregnant. My mom told me I was pregnant, my grandmother told me, and I was like, yo, please, listen hafela. And I knew I did see that I'm pregnant, and I'm now forced to have an abortion at that age, at 16. I mean, I do understand, I do get where they were coming from. What kind of life was I gonna have being a mom at 16? You know what I mean? And also my mom having had me at 16. I think that I now that I'm so grown, I can't begin to imagine what I put her through, because now that she got reminded of her life, having me at that age. Bona, my mom was like, no way, no baby. Fine. And then Banaba Skolo, they find out about it, kids at school find out about it, and now I'm the most talked child at school, talked about girl at school. Hore yo, we really so my teacher I hate, everyone knows. That ruins my experience in school. Kuri, there was nothing about school that I enjoyed, guys, and that is the honest truth, So I'm the most taught girl, and and you can imagine the day after I had that surgery of that thing, I only had 1 day to rest, and then the next day I had to go back to school. Like, everything was normal. I was bleeding so heavily. I was just numb, and I couldn't even talk about it with anyone, not even my family. Life had to go on, and you're fine. You didn't die. You're okay, And there was no one to blame but myself. You know what I mean? So, yeah. And then now, Koskolong is just horrible. And now I start now to not go to school. Guys, I go to school twice a week, And yeah. Then my entire grade 11, I was just surviving. I honestly really was surviving. There was a time I got a panic attack. I didn't know. At that time, I don't think I understood what a panic attack was. But I went to the bathroom and I could feel my chest closing in on me. I sat down and I cried so hysterically because of everything. Ho jika kam ho fula the steps ba lebeletse. Ho o tsoka monyako o ya ka. I'm like, yo. I can't even, a part of me feels like telling my mom to go to school and talk to the teachers or something. But it's bad to a point where this one day, a teacher, my LO teacher, for some reason that day, topic was teenage pregnancy and abortion and all of those things. That was a horrible day for me in school because and everybody and habolela balebella nna, karicho I no beno mo hona ke tepaketse mathata for real mo skolong, like ke tepaketse mathata I get at the school. I just want to get through this grade and the next grade and who fail, and yeah, then I get eventually grade 11 I fail like a pasta. Then we get to grade 12. Grade 12, honestly, I was just very quiet. Like I was in my quiet era. I just wanted to get through each day and just finish. And I never want to see anyone from that school ever again. Fortunately, I still have one. I only have one. Out of everyone that I was friends with, Koskolong, one made it out and she's still my friend. So, yeah, but that was my experience in high school. And at some point, I started drinking. I started bunking school again to just chill and drink alcohol and go home, get that way, and just get home and cry it out and sleep, and life would go on. Nobody noticed. My family didn't notice what I was going through. And everybody was just living their lives, and little did they know, or little did I know, that I was being so depressed. And yeah, let's continue to talk about it on the next episode. So thank you for continuing to be here, and let's continue to heal and grow and become.